Okay, yesterday Dale Steyn became the South African all-time leading wicket taker, surpassing a record held by Shaun Pollock that had stood for the better part of a decade. He did this in the first test against Pakistan on Boxing Day, so yesterday's first session, I believe, he took his 400th and 22nd a wicket. It took him 88 tests to get to that point, so that is a scary way to do it. And he's been bowling for South Africa and playing for South Africa for 14 years. He made his Test debut on the 17th of December 2004 against England in a home Test series in South Africa. He sits 11th all-time as it stands on the all-time wicket takers list behind a couple of active bowlers. They are Stuart Broad, who's on 433, who he could catch before the end of this Test series against Pakistan, before England start their Test series against the West Indies, and James Anderson, who's got 565, who is fourth on the list. Now, I don't think he catches James Anderson, but I do think he can catch and pass Stuart Broad. However, Dale Steyn is a bit further on age-wise. He's 35, I believe. He's a little bit younger than James Anderson. He's a little bit older than Stuart Broad. The thing is, the reason why I think he can catch Stuart Broad but not James Anderson is injuries have hampered his career over the last few seasons. Mostly shoulder injuries, but I think he's had a couple of ankle and thigh injuries as well. But mostly his shoulder has been troublesome over the last couple of years. It's forced him to have lengthy spells out. But I was looking at the all-time list. I think he's fourth or fifth on the list of seamers all time. And he's 11th overall, so there's a lot of spinners ahead of him. I don't think he catches Glenn McGrath or James Anderson's totals, but I think he can be possibly the second or third. I would say he's third best seamer of all time if he can keep fit for the next couple of seasons. I think he's in a very good battle with Stuart Broad for her third all-time seamer spot. But he's had, as I say, injuries. Now, I like Dale Steyn. He's one of my favourite bowlers. He's a very aggressive bowler. He will take key wickets at key times. He's very, very controlled in his bowling as well at times. He doesn't give up a lot of runs if he's on form. I wouldn't be surprised if that wicket total goes up against Pakistan on home soil. He could have a real dangerous spell in the second innings, for example, in the first test or throughout the test series, because it's a three-test series, so he's got 3 tests to get his wickets up, and I wouldn't be surprised if he gets 11 wickets plus in this test series. His totals will go up. He just needs to stay fit. It's those shoulder injuries that are hampering him and other repetitive injuries. They're little niggles, but the shoulder injuries have been quite serious. The last 3-4 years, he hasn't had a decent run in the South African side. Because he was at his peak between 2010 and 2016. He was at his peak. The last couple of seasons, his injuries have started coming more and more. His body's taking longer to recover as he gets older, and he hasn't had a consistent run of tests. Otherwise, he would have had well over 100 tests by now had he stayed fully fit, and that wicket total would be a lot higher. However, he has now surpassed Shaun Pollock, who himself was a great all-rounder, and is on 421 wickets, so he's passed Pollock. And he's the greatest African wicket taker of all time, and he could be one of the top 10 greatest wicket takers of all time if he can stay fit long enough. Harath, who's just retired from Sri Lanka, is his next target. I think he will surpass him, and he will be in the top 10 without a shadow of a doubt by the time he retires, if not higher. And I can see him and Stuart Broad having a right ding-dong, taking wickets, going forward over the winter tests. And we'll see where he ends up in a couple of years' time. But I wouldn't be surprised if he pushes top 5, if he can stay fit. But there we go. Dale Steyn is the all-time South African Test wicket taker. Thank you very much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Place your comments below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.